Hello and welcome to Heart Not Life Sailing. In our previous video, we installed stringers with wiring for courtesy lights and solar and installed the rain collectors. In this video, we lay up fiberglass on the top side and apply fairing with micro balloons. I hope you enjoy. Alright, I got my sheets laid out and cut. And I'm just going to lay out some thickened resin here so it doesn't sink through this fabric too much. It's only very lightly thickened. Put a coat on here first to kind of seal it. All the hairs from the bottom of the mat really stuck because I just did this edging today. That's what you get from bleaching your shorts too much. New roller is falling apart. Alright, that's it for now. Got it all down, nice and flat, no bubbles. There's a couple of wrinkles I can't get out because they folded these sheets. And next time I buy sheets, I'm going to specify not to fold them, to roll them, because folding leaves seams. I even had to cut off some of the back end there because it's so wrinkled up. I couldn't lay it flat. That's why I did a little joint on the end here, a little overlapped fill-in piece to make up for some of what I cut off here. Fill-in piece here for what I cut off here. I was going to be a few inches short anyways because I added this extra foot and I only bought an extra foot and it still just wasn't enough. So that's it for now. I'll check back in with it tomorrow and see how it looks. Exhausted, it's been a long night. Lucky they got lights here and at least it's not so hot. Okay, it's the next day. I had to skip a day because it wasn't hard enough to sand. When I left this at nighttime, everything was solid like this. And when I came back in the morning, there was lots of air pockets like this. They're not bubbles, there's air in between the glass and the nida-core. I laid this all in the evening, and then I think what happened is overnight, because the air temperature dropped, the resin into the nida-core, drawing it in because the air contracted and pulled the resin inside of it, leaving all these air pockets. You see it's over the entire thing. And it was solid. There was not a single bubble like this when I left. It's flat, but there's definitely air in between these. So I'm gonna rough this up with a 40 grit so that it's porous on the top. So when I lay the next layer over it, some resin will seep through this to at least make it adhere to the nida-core better. Hopefully I'm saying that right. The honeycomb, because I want to get that solid It's more important between these two layers of glass because the nida-core is not structural, it's just to make a thickness, but I still want to have a better adhesion. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. So I left this all of yesterday. I put this coat on the night before, left it all day yesterday, and still today, because it's not in direct sunlight, it's not getting hot enough to really cure. You can see it's just eating through paper. It's gumming up on here. Can't wait all week for this, so I'm just gonna have to go through the paper and try to get this scuffed up so I can keep working. So as you saw, I'm overlapping my seams here from what I had before and doing one full coat of chop on the front. I'm going to do 2 layers on the back because this whole front will be supported by the pilot house, but the back is going to be free hanging for about the last 30 inches without support, so I'm going to be building that up a little bit thicker. One tip I had if I was to do this again would be when I did that first layer over top of the honeycomb, what I think would be better is if I did a sealer coat over the whole thing and wait for it to be almost dry or dry before then re-wet it and put the cloth down on it, because it seems like my resin had soaked through into the honeycomb overnight, leaving it, unadhered. If I was to do things again, that's what I would do, a complete seal of the honeycomb, then re-wet it and lay my glass on top of it. But it's me building it up now using plenty of resin, and this will hopefully be my final coat. Just marked out all the corners so I know which way to unroll everything. That's a common sound here, car alarms. Like 10 times a day I hear that. I don't know why. But I got all my coats on now. This is it for laying glass up on this. I got one extra layer in the back here because my rear support's going to come to about here. So that spreads that weight all the way across the back. Should take out most of the flexibility so I can walk on this without a problem. I got all the bubbles out. It's flat. There's no air pockets. We're going to see what that looks like once it dries. Hopefully it looks the same. Alright, it's the next day and these sheets have hardened and they're looking much better than the last time because the core was already sealed, so nothing sucked through, so it came out pretty solid. Gonna give it a bit of a good sand right now, and then we'll be putting on a skim coat. Alright, I'm going to be mixing up some filler. I'm going to be using micro balloons, first time using it. And I'm going to be making this whole container, so I'm just going to cut the lid right off of this. microscopic balloons. They're hollow, they're very strong, and they allow you to sand the resin easier, and they add volume without too much weight. Wondering if I should use my electric mixer, but I'm not sure if that's going to really gum it up. Stuff is so light, it's just airborne. Very runny. Keep adding more, but I don't have any more resin, so I can't add too much, because I can't dilute it again. So I made this a little bit runny for the hopes it's just going to kind of settle in flat. I almost doubled the volume here. See how this goes. Now you can see the skim coat I put on here with the micro balloons. It hardened really nice. It just did a little bit with a hand sander, like a piece of sandpaper. It's very sandable compared to the using just resin. So I'm gonna knock this down a bit, and then I have to wait a couple days to get more resin because everything here is closed for a national holiday. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Follow next week to see our progress. Don't forget to like and subscribe our video, and stay tuned until next week. See you then.